Seagulls screech, filling the air with their harsh tones, a homing signal. Hovering low, swooping down with wide white wingspans, they eye up greasy fish and chip packets. Visitors nervously clutch them closer to their breasts. These are for me, pal. The sounds of Malig Harbour, metallic machinery clangs, and colourful cranes with robotic arms lift heavy boxes from one boat to the next. That distinctive working harbour smell, a heady mixture of salt, rotten fish, oil, petrol, and smoky fumes. A heady mixture indeed. Before long, I am part of the hustling crowd. We begin to move as one, winding our way around the harbour loading bay, before showing tickets and walking down the steep ramp, bags weighing heavy on our shoulders and arms. It isn't long before I feel the watery earth beneath my feet and the motion of the ocean. Upstairs for a breath of air and to escape the fussing and seasonal scrambling on board. Usually I am first to noisily greet old friends and excited squeals of glee and huge hugs. Not this time. This time is different. I am different. I climb the steep steps of the Caledonia McBrien, Loch Nevis ferry, which serves the small isles of the Inner Hebrides, and push open the heavy deck door, which shuts behind me with a loud bang. Closing my eyes, I turn my face towards the winter sun and breathe in huge gobfuls of fresh sea air. I'm almost home. I can feel it in my bones. I've been a long time away, 17 months to be exact. A self-imposed exile, I suppose you could call it. I remember when I first announced to my friends and family in Belfast back in 2017 that I was moving to the Isle of Eigg, my wee slice of paradise where the mountains meet the sea. 17 miles from the mainland, 12 square miles with a one-track road 4.5 miles long that goes from one side of the island to the other. My muse, my inspiration, my creative and spiritual home. They'd all known for a long time of my love affair with the place, but still it was a shock and a disappointment when I made my plans clear to them that I'd be moving away from home, from Ireland, and over to Eigg, to my other home. I'd gone for the primary school teacher job, teaching just 4 wee ones, and I'd got it. A new chapter beckoned. They had their reservations. What about Babushka, my Kate Bush act that was just taking off in the north? What about my love of theatre, the arts, the singing, pubs, 10 by 9, all the things that made me come alive? I didn't know how to respond except with a deeply instinctual, I just know that this is the right move for me. Eigg is where I should be. Another reservation some shared that sometimes jarred. And what about a man? Who are you going to meet on an island with only 100 people? How old are you now, Nan? 33? You're not getting any younger, you know. Soon there'll only be divorcees and men with baggage left. One friend in particular who doesn't mince his words. Defiantly, I'd respond, well, I haven't met a man so far in London or in Belfast. So if I find him anywhere, I'll find him on Eigg. Or should I say, he'll find me in the place where I feel most at home. What a load of nonsense. Finding the one. A fixed idea built on the fantasies and unrealistic expectations of an unhealthy diet of Disney princesses and happily ever after films. Shortly after arriving on Eigg, I used to actually watch folk come in off the boat and wonder, is that him? Is he the one? One day I did see someone special come off the boat. I met someone I believed was perfect, and I placed on him all of the dreams, fantasies, and unrealistic expectations of love that I'd foolishly built up in my head and heart over 34 years. He couldn't live on egg due to his own life circumstances, so I made the heartbreaking decision to leave my beloved home of 2 years and move to the East Coast to be with him in his cottage in a very rural farmland, one neighbour. My decision wasn't taken lightly. There were countless sleepless nights, tears, so many tears, long drawn out heart-to-hearts with my soul pals. But in the end, I left it all, everything. My community, my job, the kids, my charming wee stone bothy, my pals, the music, the West Coast crack. Because you see, I never believed that I had any other choice. I sacrificed myself on the altar of finding my one true love. Wasn't that what I was supposed to do? 5 months later, lockdown, isolation, loneliness, and loss. Every day, waking up with a knot in my stomach, every morning running to the shower so that he couldn't hear my deep, guttural sobs. A fierce, wild, deeply instinctual call that banged my body like a drum. This is not right. I ignored it for 17 months, by the end of which I was unrecognizable to myself. My best friend, who had watched quietly from the wings as I slipped further and further away from myself, finally persuaded me to leave and come home. She picked me up, a broken wee thing, and drove me home back to my parents, who cared for me like an egg until I was ready to leave them again for egg. I am so grateful to her for making that trip. Coming home was not an easy road. Healing never is, and there was much of it to be done. But egg has something about it. I'm certainly not the first to say it. It has a healing quality. You come away from egg feeling better, changed, renewed. Perhaps it's the geology of the place. The Skur rises up out of the island at the south side, forming a high ridge and distinctive landmark. Made of pitchstone from an ancient volcanic eruption, some say that the obsidian that forms part of the rock has healing qualities. Or maybe it's the water from St. Columba's Well, said to be blessed by the man himself. That's St. Columkille to us Irish ones. Back when the Irish missionary monks came in their traditional coracle boats over to these parts to Christianize the Picts. Holy water, my good pal Eddie calls it. Indeed, the tribal leaders from an indigenous Colombian tribe, the Misak, who came to visit Egg a few years ago, agreed that the water is indeed holy and it has healing qualities. So maybe it was the land that helped me heal. Or maybe it's the people, my beautiful community of Eggie. Good-natured, high-spirited, great crack, loving, kind, caring, supportive, generous. I could literally go on all day. The best. Intergenerational friendships abound here. A place where the soon-to-be-lost art of Céilín, the old Gaelic tradition of calling into a house unannounced for a story, a tune, a song and a dram, still is going strong. The Eggeek welcomed me back with open arms, love and acceptance. Or maybe it's the time, egg time as it's known, which seems to move slower and carries none of the weight, stress or anxiety that mainland time can tend to do. Or was it the space, the majestic, unspoiled beauty of the place? You could walk all day and not meet another soul. Space to be. Or was it the magic? The feeling that the magic that our ancestors knew so well The spirituality of the land, of the trees, and of nature is still all around, almost palpable. It was all of these things that helped me to heal and more, and I count my blessings every single day. Mountains rise majestically out of the sea as we pass Skye, the coolins piercing the clouds. I ease myself back against the boat's hull and sneakily take a sip from my hip flask. The whiskey slides down my throat, igniting my belly with a strangely satisfying burn. Ishkaveha, water of life. It breathes life into my spirit. My whole being is more alive than it's been in months. Ahead, Egg comes into view, a huge green dragon rising up from the sea. My happily ever after. Feeling the warmth of my hands on my heart, a deep sense of peace falls upon me as I realize, perhaps for the first time, that the love of my life that I had been waiting for all these years had been right here waiting for me all of my life. I was finally coming home to myself. Thank you.
Nan, that is so beautiful. There's people in the chat saying that they're Googling the island of Egg at the moment, and my guess is did you say the population is 100?
About 115, I think.
Oh yeah, so I think the population is going to grow exponentially in the next couple of days as people decide that they're going to move over there. You make it so beautiful sounding. And did you get back teaching? Is that what you?
Yes. Everything's worked out beautifully because I teach part-time now, which is perfect.
Oh, brilliant. How many children? Still 4?
So now we've got 6.
Oh, fantastic. Long may they prosper. I want to hear a little bit more about the Kate Bush. Was it Babushka?
Yes. Aha. Back in Belfast, I called it cloud busting, and then I realized I was stealing someone else's Kate Bush tribute name, so I changed it. Babushka, yeah, we played a few gigs in Belfast. It was all going great. I had a lovely Belfast band that were amazing. The show was conceptualized in Belfast. My sister Claire Murray, who's probably here somewhere, has Blunt Fringe, the musical theatre production company. So she helped me. My best friend Rachel Logan Fee helped me to bring the show together, and then I just left and it was over. So when I got here, the first thing I did, well, not the first thing I did, but one of the first things I did was I just asked all the best musicians that I know from over here, are you up for the Kate Bush thing?
Yeah.
And they all said yes.
The answer is always yes.
Amazing band of amazing folk musicians that also do a wee bit of Kate Bush on the side.
Oh, brilliant.